As a busy individual, it can sometimes be hard to find the time or to justify the time to be able to go to the gym. But resistance training is one of the biggest bang for your buck things you can do, not just for your health, but also for your productivity. So if you find yourself struggling to find time to train, then please take a look at this video where I'll hopefully be able to show you that for just 30 minutes a week, you can get infinitely more benefit than not doing anything at all. So in terms of the structure, I would hit one full body session per week, which means that you're going to hit every major movement pattern at the minimum effective dose for maintenance or slow progress, which is 1 time per week. So you're going to hit each major movement pattern, which is going to be press, pull, squat, and hinge. So I would warm up for 3 to 5 minutes on the treadmill, and then I would get straight into this. So for your pulling, I would personally do a pull-up with a slight lean so that it's like somewhere between a pull-up and a row, but you could substitute this for a lat pull down or even something like a dumbbell bench row. Then for pressing, I would hit an incline dumbbell press because this is going to give us a full range of motion, a nice stretch at the bottom, but it's also going to hit our chest at an angle where it's going to be somewhat of a hybrid between a chest and a shoulder movement. So in an ideal world, you'd do an overhead press and a kind of horizontal press, but this kind of splits the difference and makes sure that we're not neglecting the upper chest, which is a commonly neglected area, but we're also going to hit our deltoids, our triceps, and our lower chest too. As for your squat, I would personally hit a belt squat or a hack squat, but you could also do a single leg variation like a Bulgarian split squat. It just might be more difficult to take this close enough to failure to see the results that you want to see on such low training volume. As for the hinge movement, I would personally hit a hip thrust or perhaps a 45-degree hyperextension. Part of the purpose of this exercise selection is that it takes a lot less time to warm up than something like even a Romanian deadlift or, God forbid, a regular deadlift. Not that there's anything wrong with it, it's just not very time effective. And then on top of this, if you have any time available, I would hit one core movement at the end of your workout. I would personally go for a knee raise in a captain's chair, often called a vertical knee raise station, or you could go for some type of ab crunch like an ab crunch machine or a cable crunch. So now that we've covered exercise selection, the movement patterns, and the kind of split/training frequency, now we're going to cover the volume. So I want you to hit 1 to 2 warm-up sets to make sure that you can perform your top sets safely and effectively, and then you're going to perform just 1 set to failure or just shy of. So this is what we call reps in reserve, also known as reps in reserve of failure. So 0 reps of reserve is the point at which, even with a gun to your head, if your life depended on it, you could not perform another rep. So when the volume is so low, we need to accommodate for this by keeping the intensity high. So for most movements, this is going to mean taking them to failure or just 1 rep shy of. Now for some bonus effective volume, you could also do a drop set where at the very end of your set, when you have nothing left to give, you drop your weights to about 50 to maybe 75% of what they were before and do the same again and take it to failure. This is going to allow us to get more effective reps, which are the 5 reps before failure, which are the most stimulating for hypertrophy. Then at the end of this, if you have any time left, I would suggest doing what is known as the 1-minute cardio protocol. And it's a little bit of a misnomer because the 1 minute refers to the amount of active high intensity time, but the whole thing only takes 6 minutes. So my personal choice would be to jump on an assault bike, which allows us to train all limbs at the same time and keep constant tension. And what you're going to do is you're going to do 10 seconds of maximum intensity work on the assault bike, followed by 50 seconds of recovery work at a very light pace to get your breath back. And you're going to do this 6 times. And that is going to take a total of 6 minutes for a grand total of 1 minute of high intensity work. And studies have actually shown that this can be more effective than doing a lot more cardio at a lower intensity. So to recap, if I only had 30 minutes to train each week, I would do 1 full body session. I would hit 1 movement per major movement pattern. For me, it would be pull-ups, incline press, belt squat, and a hip thrust. Maybe some calves if you have time, if that is an area of weakness, and 1 core movement if you have time. It's not absolutely essential, but it would help if you can find the time to do it. And then at the end of this, I would hit my 1-minute cardio protocol, and this should take you to about 30 minutes, maybe slightly more, but there or thereabouts. And this is going to give you infinitely more benefit than doing nothing at all. And it's the minimum effective dose for you to maintain muscle mass or possibly even gain it slowly, especially if you aren't that advanced of a trainee. So I hope you find this helpful, and I hope it reinforces that you don't need a lot of time in the gym to get a lot of benefits. I'm actually going to put a link in the description for this super simple program. So if this is something that you think you would benefit from, click on that link and grab the program for free. And I sincerely hope it helps.